Welcome to My Take on It with your Angelic Karma. If you are interested in sharing your story in a future broadcast, send an email to yourangelicstories@gmail.com. Here she is, folks, your host, the one, the only, the also beautiful, your Angelic Karma.
Okay, everyone. Right down to business. We are live once again. Those of you that want to join me on the chat, you're most definitely welcome to do so. A cycle that has ended. Some of you, and everybody knows that with the work, the last cycle, I talked a lot about Aquarius. Aquarius is the energy after the sign of Capricorn. So I'm going to reverse it back a little bit, and we're going to focus on Capricorn energy with Saturn being the ruler, and a lot of what they are coming out of, and they're being drugged forward, pulled forward, lessons unlearned. But it still means that it still means that Saturn, being their energetic ruler, is still pulling them forward. Now, not without the energy that goes along with unlearned lessons, but as Saturn pulls them forward, because it takes Capricorn a long time to get it. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why it takes them a long time to get it. Now because the cycle has ended. Now let's talk about Saturn for a little bit for the rest of you all, because we're into the work now. Today we start a new cycle, a new karmic cycle started. Saturn will be in full effect in March, will be Saturn. Now, so there's a little bit of behind the scenes things that are happening energetically regarding Saturn itself and that type of alignment, and that's when Saturn will be like full-fledged. But we all knew that this was going to be a very Saturnian year, and it's starting off like that right from the beginning. So it is where with Capricorns, it would be about, because for Capricorns, it's Saturn ruling Capricorn. I understand with Capricorn, I kind of have 7 placements in Capricorn Saturn, but I have a lot of the Saturn like that in the chart. So I understand that with Saturn being the karmic judge, and Capricorn obviously has favor with Saturn because that is their ruler. Now, that doesn't mean that they get away with anything. They will be the embodiment of Saturn's energy, that structure, that order, that stability, that karmic energy, that hard work energy and effort, that maturity, that self-mastery. That's right up their alley, like that, So it would be where, so when you think about Saturn, is every time Saturn is somebody's always having a Saturn return. That's always happening. So, and Saturn is always changing size and having a collective cycle. How Saturn is in Pisces now, okay, that is the ruler of Capricorn. So they're always being under that change of what the 12 signs denote. But Saturn is their ruler, so they have that favor there. Now, meaning that they can function with Saturn's energy better than the average person can, because that's their ruler, that's their embodiment. They are the structure, unless they have significantly a lot of something else going on in their chart. Now, because a new karmic cycle is starting, it will be that I feel that I know that some of the Capricorns, for Capricorns, because Saturn is always making cycles, is the lessons are, when it's time for it to become a real lesson, is spread out, because Saturn is never finished, because there are 12 signs and it rules Capricorn. Now, so with them, they get to be drugged forward without completely understanding what this last cycle of lesson was teaching them. Now, it is that. So they always go forward with whatever the cycle was, Saturn is about to shake that residue out, and they'll be left with whatever aspects of that lesson that they're not aware of. Oh, this was the lesson. Like that. Oh, like that. Okay. You know, they would have been aware of the struggle. They would have been aware of the hard work energy. They're aware of what they're using. Okay, and then but they have to. This is the lesson. Now, this is what Saturn is trying to teach. So they get to go forward anyway, obviously, because Saturn is always making cycles, just like when Saturn leaves Pisces, Capricorn goes forward, because Saturn is now in Aries. Okay, then Saturn will go forward, Capricorn's going like that, because it's their ruler that's always moving. And you're always affected by whatever your ruler is doing. Now, but because, as I stated, they're the embodiment of Saturn, to whatever extent they are, depends on whatever else their chart is saturated with. They know how to function with Saturn a lot better than other people. They're accustomed to it. They probably, a lot of them may like, well, nobody likes nobody likes you, buzzkill. Okay, no, okay. But your angelic karma, well, not all the time. So I'm not going to sit there. No. Not all the time. No. Not killjoy, not all the time. No. I'm glad this isn't that type of job where I have to pretend to and say nice things about Saturn. Right there. Hell no. Because it would not be true to the nature of my feelings and what Saturn denotes. Now, even though Saturn is positive also. Now, it would be, so with Capricorn, with you all, you know that some of you could feel that because you all, what would be happening to you all, it always happens practically like that. Meaning, if it's a love relationship, you're in the relationship in real life, practically, like that. Okay, if it's a new job, you're in the job practically. If you're relocating, you practically move. So Saturn, with Saturn, they don't have to wander, and it's not in la la land, and they're wondering where. No, Saturn is like, it's here. Here to smell us out and get sober, like that. Okay, this is it, like that. Okay, so they would know where they're headed to. Now, wherever they're headed, for those, some of them I already know. The ones that don't know, it's about to be made clear to them. It's practical moves. Saturn doesn't make la la land moves like that. I wish Saturn, some days I'm like, Saturn, I wish you would just go into La La Land and some gun drops and strawberries would start falling out of the sky. I want to see Saturn skipping in some grass, and smiling and throwing up roses and sunflowers are everywhere like that. And then Saturn brings me back to reality. Okay. So now it would be, so you're about to know, some of them are about to know. Now, because they are about to make practical moves like that, because Saturn's like, so they roll sober like that, okay, and you don't have to wonder where Saturn is telling you, is showing you. Now, so because they're about to make practical moves, Saturn is about to dust some residue off. It's like some residue of just shake it off. Now that residue is a part of what has blocked out full light regarding the path that they were in and coming out of, regarding what Saturn was doing. It has done to this point, up to this point, with it being in Pisces and it being in the karmic cycle that is completely over, and we are starting a new one like that. So that means that things would be getting a whole lot better like that. Now, but the thing is that they still don't see the lesson. It's hard for Capricorn to see the lesson, because Saturn teaches a lot of lessons, and because Capricorn is accustomed to Saturn like that, and Capricorn can sometimes say, well, hell, that's just life. You're supposed to put hard work energy. It's supposed to be so Saturn has to really sober them up, like, to let them know that, it's life, but this is like that, okay, because Capricorn could become complacent, meaning that it could be about not the lesson going over their head. It's like the lesson could go over their head because they would be accustomed to Saturn, and they could be accustomed to Saturn's reward part, for their time, energy, effort, work, life path. They can be accustomed to that. Equally as they are accustomed to putting in hard work, energy, effort, restrictions, maturity, waiting, being patient, like that. Okay. Self-mastery. They're accustomed to it equally. So when Saturn is teaching a lesson, which this, and if I have to tell you what the lesson was, well, me telling you what the hell is the end now, and you get them, you're still having to move forward, but you don't move forward, not having to continue to go through the experience of what the lesson was trying to teach you, like that. And Saturn's unique way being the taskmaster of teaching you it. Now, so for Capricorn, because the energy is about to be shaken off them, it will be, this specific lesson was a lesson about appreciation. Now, with Capricorn, appreciation gets lost in translation. Because Capricorn is like, appreciating who? I'm the one that put all the hard work, energy, and effort in. Okay, you know. So if anybody's standing in this spotlight, it's me. Like that, okay. Which is true. But it's about appreciation, because they're accustomed to getting Saturn's reward for the hard work, energy, and effort. And sometimes that can cause Capricorn to get caught up in not the specifics, detail of the functioning of life regarding those rewards. Capricorn will be caught up more in, I know how to put hard work, energy, and effort in. I'm the boss. I do this. I don't have anybody to think, because nobody helped me. And that's true. And so they'll be in their life, and Saturn rewards that hard work, energy, and effort, because Saturn loves the hard work, energy, and effort. And it loves Capricorn like that. Okay. Because that's hard work, energy, and effort. But Saturn also teaches Capricorn's lessons. Those lessons change. Now, this specific cycle that they're leaving out of, it was appreciation for what Capricorns use are very abundant. Financially. Saturn doesn't reward you with la-la land and flowers. Saturn rewards them with money, what is tangible. Now, so Capricorns are usually abundant, you know, financially. Saturn is financial security, financial stability, financial freedom, titles in society regarding your job, high titles, high positions. It is being associated with those types of things, and people knowing you're associated with it, the ability to buy what you want, the ability to live a comfortable life. Saturn rewards them with that. Now, when Saturn is teaching them a lesson regarding that, it could be, yeah, your hard work, energy, effort brought it to you, but do you understand how to value it? How it comes, what to do with it when it comes, how to multiply it, how to triply it, how to care for it so that it can be with you for the long run. Do you understand the times when this happened, what you could have did better? Do you understand this new thing that I'm going to teach you that doesn't have anything to what you did wrong, but I need to put you in this position so that the lesson can be taught, so that the lesson can be learned, so that I can bring you down to earth, Capricorn, and have you focus on specific things that you generally won't focus on, because Saturn is always usually rewarding the hard work, energy, and effort. But when we're talking about expansion, Saturn will put you in positions where you have to look at things differently, apply what you already know. Saturn slowly teaching other elements, things to apply with what you already know, or expanding on what you already know, or wanting you to apply what you already know, but apply it differently, or apply it there also, or apply it the same, but apply it to that also. Saturn would do that. Now, in order to teach the lesson, Saturn is real life experience. It's not la la land and I'm in la la land and in la la land this happened. No, Saturn is, no, you're in it doing it. And for you to do it, everything has to be set up and conducive for you to learn the lesson and apply it and do it. So it is that. And the appreciation part could be about the appreciation of the self-mastery that you have, that Capricorns have, because Saturn is self-mastery. The appreciation of their business acumen. Capricorn, that's business. That's business in contrast. The appreciation of their innate negotiation capabilities. That's negotiating contracts in business and money. Appreciating all that. But sometimes when they're in their life, because they're so good at being that and being rewarded for that, they're not having to look at what it entails, look at when it's time to expand it, look at what they're actually doing that they're being rewarded for, apply it here, apply it there, or just look at it. Look at when you don't do it, look at when you do it, and you have to be in real life experiences that are conducive for that to happen. And that's the path that Saturn took Capricorn on, because Saturn is about initiation, and that initiates them into whatever great abundance they're coming into. And Saturn's lessons are rigorous. Saturn's lessons are tough. Saturn's lesson isn't about no damn words and examples. Saturn's lessons are about real life experience, like that. Is Saturn. Your Angelic Karma has 7 placements in Saturn Capricorn. Plus my moon. Like that. So Saturn, the appreciation of the sharpening of your skills, the utilization of the skills that you have, the appreciation of who you are and what you bring to the table, the value of that, and you placing the price tag on it. That's Saturn. And you work with Saturn's lessons up to that point of being there and doing it. And it shows a great appreciation for self. And Saturn rewards you for that too. Saturn is this is who I am, like that. This is what I offer. This is unique. This is different. You're not going to find that here. Saturn cultivates that is already there and bring it to the surface. But Saturn is slow moving, and it's through real life like that. It's through real life Saturn does that. But Saturn says when it's going to be done, how it's going to be done. And hell, it ain't pretty. When it's going to be done, how it's going to be done. Like that is Saturn. Especially in Capricorn should know, with them being the 10th house, that's big boss energy. You would already know that how Saturn would be with you all. Okay, it's like, and then Saturn, everybody has a birthday. So everybody has a Saturn return. Be they Capricorn, be they whatever. Okay, Saturn is still your ruler while it's ruling them with their Saturn return. Saturn goes through cycles astrologically. It's in the sign of Pisces. It's still Capricorn's ruler. Okay, even though Capricorns they have Saturn's favor. That doesn't mean they get out of lessons, but it means they work better with the energy than anybody other people would. They are really cultivated. The 10th house is. That's why they're the big boss. That's the head person in charge. That person on the 10th floor. Like that. They bring skills and abilities innate. Old soul energy is Capricorn. Old souls. So you already know Saturn isn't playing with it. It's like that. Okay, self-mastery is the 10th house. So that's your lesson. That was the lesson. It's over now. But so you're shaking off the energy. You move forward. It would be where whatever was brought to the surface while you are on that path, you take it forward with you. Saturn obviously would want to see it utilized. And Saturn the standard is high. The standard is the bar is high. So you all know how Saturn is. So it would be that. And you'll just be moving forward into what is next. And you could start feeling that energy of, hell, the rush is over. But see, with Capricorn, it would be, it depends. And because Saturn has high expectations, Capricorns also have high expectations. And the higher the expectation, it would be high standards. Because Saturn is high standard, well, Saturn is high expectation too. But because Capricorns are also high standard, so the expectation of themselves is high because it's like meeting the bar, and they hit it. So it would be the whatever the experience, whatever the experience is to the magnitude of what the high standard Capricorn has. And they are rewarded to that magnitude of whatever they had to go through within that lesson, within that experience. The reward would be just as great. But see, they could be, when Capricorn says success, hell, what the hell? We don't know what the hell that means, because a lot of them are usually accustomed to great success because it's the 10th house. We're talking about CEO, CFO, things like that. People with business acumen, and that type of approach to life. So it would be different. When they say shit is getting better, when things are getting better, we don't know. Like, for Capricorn, it just goes back to the appreciation. Hell, it probably was better for you than it is for other people normally. In our ways, is getting better. What you thought was worse, hell, we don't know what the hell you're talking about. Compared to other people, they probably is always not good. Okay, is Capricorn. What do you mean it's getting better, but what? And when Capricorn think that they could be at their worst, whatever, because Saturn would bring you there, especially when it's going to award you to the maximum of where you were because of whatever it was trying to show you, Saturn. Saturn is real life experience, not fantasy land. It would be... it depends on that specific Capricorn and what they want, what they see as reward, what they look at as success, and the bar is going to be high, and it's what they're willing to do, and the experiences that correspond with that at the lower vibration of Saturn zooming them in on whatever, and them going through that experience, because they're going to be rewarded at the equal high vibration, because Saturn is always about equal energy, and it's also always about recycling the energy has to come from somewhere that makes things high vibration and positive. But the Capricorn could be, the lesson part could go over their head, and what Saturn is asking of them. And Saturn requires of you based on who you are innately and what you have to offer, what you have that is of value. Is that. But Saturn says when and when it's time and how, because it's like it's there, but it's being bought up because now it's time. It's being bought up, so everything around it, weeds, whatever, is being burnt away like that. And that those experiences that are uncomfortable are part of that burning away because the energy is being transmuted. So the Capricorn energy is moving forward, because Saturn is moving forward because new cycles are starting karmically. So you ought to be dusted off there with that, from that residue, and then more of that light will shine, and you'll see exactly where you are. You will see that things have gotten better, because that better energy will be able to come to you practically like that. Okay, in a real world sense, which is where it counts for Capricorn and where it counts for Saturn. That's what counts. Okay, everyone, until next time, thanks for listening. Bye.